Yo, what's up guys? It's Bill here for Classic Rock and Metal Review. Time for some new release news. I'll give you the lowdown on all the new releases coming up in the next few months. We're talking into June and July 2023, even a few into August. Focus on the Super Deluxe Editions and Deluxe Editions coming out, but I'm going to be giving you the lowdown on everything. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out, so regular releases, touch on all those also. But since we do focus on box sets, the end here, I'll give you a little sort of review, talk about a little discussion action from Allman Brothers and Sisters Super Deluxe Edition. This is from 2013, 4 CD set, really nice one, still available too, and worth getting for sure. Also, our featured artist of the month this month is Deep Purple. I don't think they even have any Super Deluxe Editions as far as I know. But I do have this complete albums collection, so let's talk about this for a little bit. I have a half dozen of these. I really think they're really well worth it. Some more than others, but this is a good one too. And then just for some fun at the end, let's talk about the Super Deluxe Edition coming out by Van Halen for Van Halen II. Yeah, I'm kind of pulling your chain a little bit. It doesn't exist. There's no talk about it, but we're going to create it ourselves. Just a little fun thing to do at the end. Guys, I think we're looking at 10 discs for that bad boy. Pretty cool stuff. I have most of them. There's one or two things that we're going to throw in there that I don't have yet. But I think they're out there to be had. So let's check that out. Little fun thing. Guys, it's not even 6 a.m. So we're just starting out with the Joe. All right. Trader Joe. French roast, that is. Gets me grooving. You know what? It's Memorial Day today. So happy Memorial Day to everybody. If you're a veteran, and thank you for your service, obviously. Looks like a nice one here. So nice day to scoop through Amazon or wherever and get some new releases. Guys, there's so much coming out. It's kind of crazy. Let's just do a quick summary of a few things that have come out in the last few weeks. Moody Blues to Our Children's Children. 1969 gets a Super Deluxe treatment, 4 CDs and a Blu-ray. I've got my eyes on this one. I was ready to pull the trigger at 95 bucks, and then 2 hours later I went to buy it after I saw it for 95, and it was back to 115. So I'm gonna wait. I hate how they toy with you, man, but they just love to do it. Can't bring myself to spend an extra $20 for something I was about to buy. Anyway, that one looks good. 4 CDs, new Steven Wilson remix of the album, stereo. The original stereo mix is also there. There's a whole CD of outtakes, B-sides, alternate takes, BBC songs. Also another CD, live at the Royal Albert Hall in '69. The Blu-ray has both stereo mixes of the album, the original and the Steven Wilson. It's also got the Royal Albert Hall concert on CD, or a part of the Blu-ray. So this is a great one, man. I don't have much from the Moody Blues, so sometimes a band like this, if they come out with a Super Deluxe Edition for every album, I don't need them all, but let me grab one so I have one concert from them, get the album, get the B-sides and stuff. So I got my eye on this one, and I'm not gonna let it go. T-Rex, this one came out May 26th, a few days ago. So 1973 era, Tanks and Zinc Alloy. He had 2 albums that year. They both get covered in this 4 CD box set, also available in 5 LPs. This one's covering around $100. This looks pretty cool. I never really heard these albums, I was more of the couple albums before it kind of guy. So this would be cool for me to check out, get into the next stage of T-Rex, based on what I've had in the past. May 26th, this also came out a few days ago. Lynch Mob, Revolution Live. It's a 2003 live album. A little bit of a deluxe treatment here. 2 CDs, 1 DVD, but it's in 5.1 surround sound. So this one looks kind of cool. Nice starter. I don't have anything from them. That's probably a good place to start. All right, stuff coming up in June. The Biggie, Black Sabbath, Live Evil, June 2nd. Super Deluxe Edition. I finally pre-ordered a few days ago. Guys, I ended up going for the CDs. It wasn't even the money. They're pretty much only $20 apart. I'm going to try to get the albums too at some point, but CDs are just so much more flexible. They're in my car. then they're on my iPod because I burn them into iTunes. And you know, the weather's getting nice. I'm going to be out on the deck, out on the beach, wherever I want to take it. The CDs work. So starting with the CDs, albums at some point. Faux show. Of course, you're getting 4 CDs or 4 LPs with this one. Looks awesome. Our monthly Black Sabbath episode, try to do it around the 13th of the month. Coming up in June, we'll just do a whole review of this. And we'll be drinking our Black Sabbath drink. I've been assembling the ingredients for that. Haven't tried it yet. That looks cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the last Black Sabbath monthly episode for this month, May. Recipe in there for a couple different options of recipes for a drink called Black Sabbath. Also June 2nd, guys, if you're a fan of Sabbath, you've got to be a fan of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I mean, I am, seriously. I don't know if I need this one, though. It's the Ultimate Collection, 44 CDs. Man, 800 plus songs. Previously unreleased live material here, concerts. Some of the albums that were previously only released on stereo, but they were originally mono back in the day, so now they're back on mono here. Of course, you got alternate takes and outtakes and stuff. Gonna run you about $500 though. The Ultimate Frankie Valli box. Also June 2nd, Raven. This is a 3 CD package called Faster Than the Speed of Light. It has 2 of their live albums, one from '84, Live at the Inferno, Destroy All Monsters, live in Japan from '94, and a Party Killers CD. It's a CD full of cover songs. That comes out June 2nd. Also June 2nd, Roger Waters' Lockdown Sessions. 7 songs recorded during the pandemic and 1 live. Nice little collection there. I don't know, maybe. June 2nd, Ben Harper, new album from him called Wide Open Light. He's a cool dude, man. I like how he really varies his styles, all within one album, you know. June 2nd, I heard of these guys back in the day. I never owned anything from them. I probably only heard 1 or 2 songs on Metal Shop. Hanoi Rocks. If you're going to have something from them, this is probably the one thing to have. This is a 5 CD package called Days We Spent Underground. None of this material here is new. What you get is the 3 studio CDs, 1 live album, and a CD full of alternates, B-sides, etc. Like I said, all of this stuff previously released, but now re-released and 1 package. June 9th, The Dead Milkmen, a new album called Quaker City Quiet Pills. Always cool to hear new Milkmen. T-Rex again, June 9th. This is Slider getting a deluxe edition treatment. It's 2 CDs. The original album plus 3 bonus tracks on the first disc. Second disc, the alternate Slider using outtakes and demos to recreate the album. So that looks kind of cool. I have to see if I have Slider back there. I used to have it. I think it's gone. I'm really familiar with that album. It's a great one. Also June 9th, Rat, The Atlantic Years. This is on CD or vinyl. 1984 to 1990. No new material here, just those 5 albums. If it's CDs that you're after, they're in slipcases and a box kind of thing. But like I said, nothing new as far as material. Also June 9th, Phil Lynnett's Post Lizzie Band Grand Slam. Box set here basically. Cleopatra's the label. It's called Slam Anthem. 6 CDs, rare and live material. So this is worth checking out. This one looks pretty thorough, just about as thorough as you can get. June 9th again, Rush Signals. This is the SHM version of the CD for the 40th anniversary. It is the 2015 mix from Abbey Road Studios. I mean, if you're not going to release that version of it, then why bother at all? I wasn't sure of that when I told you last month. I did check it out. It is the 2015 remix. Now, June 16th, Trouble, their 3rd album, Run to the Light from 1987, gets a re-release, and it's a deluxe edition style. It's a digipack. You get the regular CD on CD1. CD2 has 4 bonus tracks. So not exactly a ton of new material, but I'm sure if you're a Trouble fan, this looks cool. I don't have this album. I only have the first 2. So the thing is, man, that digipack just kills me. But it did sort of remind me that I don't have this. I'm going to look for the older version in a jewel case. June 16th, Government Mule. New album out. There's a deluxe edition version of that if you're interested. So it's called Peace Like a River, name of the proper album. And if you get the 2 CD version. There's a 5-song EP called Time of the Signs that you get with that. Also, June 16th, Motorhead live at Montreux Jazz Festival 07. Do I need to even tell you what it is? Obviously, concert from that year. 2 CDs. Kind of cool. June 23rd, Gary Moore, The Sanctuary Years. This is a sort of album collection kind of thing. 1984 to 1990. 4 CDs and a Blu-ray. There's some bonus tracks on, I think, 1 or 2 of the CDs have bonus tracks. The Blu-ray has some bonus interviews and previously unreleased material too. June 23rd again, Eric Clapton, The Definitive 24 Nights. This is a super deluxe edition here. This is of his 1991 live album. He used 3 different band configurations on stage on that tour. Rock, blues, and then basic band with orchestra. So you can buy them individually or the whole gigantic thing. Super Deluxe Edition version of it has 6 CDs or 8 LPs covering the music. Whichever way you go, you get 3 Blu-rays. A separate Blu-ray for each portion of the concert. Pretty fat box here, obviously. But nice that you can get just the rock concert, just the blues. Pretty cool having all those options. Also June 23rd. Man, are we ever going to get out of June? June 23rd, Stuart Copeland, The Police, Deranged for Orchestra. A recent tour that he did with basically just doing old Police songs, but sort of remixed and reworked. June 23rd, Little Feat gives us a couple of deluxe editions, Dixie Chicken and Sailin' Shoes, now turned into 2 CD or 3 LP sets for each one. With each one, you get a newly remastered version of the album with bonus tracks on that CD and a whole CD full of outtakes, B-sides, live material celebrating those 2 albums by Little Feat. I just got Dixie Chicken, the regular one, like last month. So still checking it out. But they're good. I can really see why Waiting for Columbus was such a big album. Because those performances on there are, I think, better than studio. Also, June 23rd. Couple of Pete Townsend releases. These are on vinyl. Rough Mix from 77 and Empty Glass from 1980. Limited edition half-speed masters. Rough Mix is a gatefold version of the album. And Empty Glass, not a gatefold, but you do get a poster inside it. So for big Pete Townsend fans, a couple nice vinyl releases here. Also June 23rd, Madonna 50 number 1s. This is a vinyl collection. This is called a Rainbow Edition. 6 albums. Each album on this one a different color. This came out a few months back and sold out within days. So you might be interested in grabbing this one before this one sold out. On to June 30th, Raven, a new studio album called All Hell's Breaking Loose. The 15th studio album, 10 songs, Digipack CD or vinyl. June 30th, Big Country, Driving to Damascus, Deluxe Edition here, 4 CDs. Their 8th and final album with founder, lead vocalist, writer Stuart Adamson from 1999. Live, alternates, B-sides, and 2 CDs of demos on this one. Also June 30th, 38 Special Live at Rock Palast. CD DVD combo, which is nice. This is from Lauralee, Germany, August 29th of 81 show. Region free DVD. You've seen these before. Lizzie, Thin Lizzy and the Outlaws were also on the bill on this day. And I know Thin Lizzy has a DVD out. It's back on the shelf back there. So this looks cool, man. 38 Special from 81. Moving on, finally, on to July. A lot of new stuff coming out, man. Save your pennies. July 7th, Nazareth, The Full Circle Tour, 1981. Live album from that tour. Single CD. Also July 7th. Axe, the albums, 1979 and 1983. 4 CDs. This one's Deadline Music, they're called. They released the same thing a few years ago. This version, however, has 6 live bonus tracks on disc 3. So a little bit different than the one, almost the same. Also a 16-page booklet for $25. Nice, easy way to get 4 Axe albums. Guys, I never heard a single song by these guys. So if anyone out there has, they look kind of cool, but you know, I haven't heard. I listened to a few things on YouTube the other day. Maybe 1 song actually, but let me know what's up. You know, it's hard to resist 4 albums for $25 from a band that has some decent reviews. Also, July 7th, Billy Burnett. We know him best from being in Fleetwood Mac, their guitarist from 88 to 95. Well, he had a couple of solo albums out, one in 80 and one in 81. These are going to be on CD for the first time. So the self-titled 1980 CD and one called Gimme You from 1981. Interesting stuff there. I listened to a couple songs from him. He has a real sort of Clapton-y sound, clean, rock, a little bit of, country rock kind of going on thing. I don't know. I don't think I'll buy them, but I might check them out again on YouTube, the full albums. Again, July 7th, Joni Mitchell, Song to a Seagull from 68. It got a new mix as part of a box set not too long ago, so now it's going to be a standalone. Same for her album from 69 called Clouds. Now that was the original mix, but it was remastered. So again, standalone versions. These are both vinyl-only things from Joni Mitchell. All right, looking ahead to July 10th, Albert Bouchard, Imagine Us 3, Mutant Reformation, new album from the former drummer of Blue Oyster Cult. These are new songs mixed in with reworked Blue Oyster Cult classics. This looks kind of interesting. Wouldn't mind hearing this. I don't know if I need to buy it. Definitely check it out on YouTube first before I buy something like this. George Lynch, this is July 14th. The Lost Anthology, 2 CDs, rare, live, classic old stuff, one-off recordings he did with other singers. Nice, man. Like I said, early career right up until now, 2 CD collection. This one looks kind of cool. Also, on July 14th, Aerosmith re-releasing most, if not all, their catalog, back catalog. These are all remastered CDs, I guess all part of their final tour coming up. Kind of cool though, I don't have some of these albums, and they are in jewel cases, which I like. And like I said, remastered. Everything that I looked up looks remastered. July 14th. Also, July 14th, Gordon Lightfoot recently just passed away, actually May 1st this year. So rest in peace, Gordon Lightfoot. I'm a fan of him. Guy's really consistent artist. I guess if you like one of his songs, you're probably going to like everything he's ever done. Just some good stuff. Canadian legend, singer-songwriter. He goes back to late 50s. I've got to see him in concert last year. It was the 3rd time I saw him. And did a nice performance. Glad I got to see him. Releasing Gordon Lightfoot at Royal Albert Hall. Obviously live. It's from 2016. 2 CDs. Looks like an interesting one. Covers a lot of material, as you can imagine. All right, July 21st. We got Nils Lofgren with a new album called Mountains. Also, July 21st, Voivod, Morgoth Tales, new studio album. July 28th, we got Tank with Filth Hounds of Hades, their 1982 album. Deluxe Edition version. It's a single CD, but you get the album plus 7 bonus tracks or studio edits or live versions of songs from the album. Digipack, however, but it's on the Cleopatra label. And you know what, guys? It's only $10, so I'm going to order this one. I'm not a Digipack fan. The jewel case versions from a few years back are up in like $30 range. For $10, what the heck, man? I've never heard this album. Maybe once a long time ago. I want to grab it for $10. Also, July 28th, Joni Mitchell at Newport. This is a new live album from Newport Folk Festival from July of 2022. CD or album version with that one. Guys, here's a nice way to wind things up. Rhett Forrester, former vocalist of Riot. He left after the 1983 Born in America album. His 2 solo CDs, one from 1984, Gone with the Wind, another one from 1988, Even the Score, coming out as reissues. I think Even the Score was still out there, but Gone with the Wind, I'm not sure. They're a little tough to get either way, so they come in nice slip cases or in jewel cases inside slip cases kind of things. No bonus material on these, but new reissues with I think some different cover artwork too. Decent stuff. I listened to a few of these songs. Otherwise wasn't familiar with them, but I liked what I heard. 2 or 3 songs that I just listened to from the first album the other day. Guys, that's pretty much going to do it. There are some other reissues coming out in the next few weeks. I mentioned the Aerosmith. Looks like most, if not all, the catalogs coming out. They're remastered. Some non-remastered reissues coming out. Jackson Browne's Running on Empty, sometime in July, I believe, maybe June. And Raven, their 1985 album Stay Hard, reissue. Nothing new on those albums, like I said. Not remastered, but reissues. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the new release situation. Let's just take a few minutes and look at some box sets. And these are just the ones I just happened to listen to this month. And not even all of them, just a few of the discs from them. So to start out with the Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters, 1973 album. This was their biggest seller that they ever had. I mean, who would have thought, you know? You lose Dwayne in 71. You lose founding bassist Barry Oakley in 72. And in 1973, they not only get themselves together, they had their biggest album ever. And probably rightfully so. I mean, there's just a lot of, you know, the sound is just a little more sort of commercial without Dwayne there, not as dynamic, and, you know, kind of losing a little bit of this sort of bluesy rock, hard rock style, trending a little towards the countryside, you know, with Dickie Betts more at the helm here. But got the great Wasted Words by Greg. Of course, Ramblin' Man, maybe their biggest song ever. Come and Go Blues by Greg. Jelly Jelly. Is that just an instrumental? No, I'm thinking of Southbound is a solid song. Jessica, of course, everyone loves that one. You can't be in the car without throwing Jessica on. Pony Boy, a little acoustic thing by Dickie at the end, sort of bluegrass style. Great little 7-song album, you know, probably 40 minutes for 7 songs. It's awesome. So here's your super deluxe treatment from 2013, and you could still get this, guys, $65 last I checked on Amazon. Every now and then it'll pop up to 80, but every now and then it'll go down to like 45. You get the album remastered on disc 1. And I did a side-by-side with these back when I first got this, and the box set version is better. This one sounds really good, just a little sort of lacking some dynamics, as you can imagine. This CD, guys, goes back to the 80s. I've had this thing since then. And take a quick look at this. Let's just pay our respects here. Old school Polydor CD. Solid album. Surprised it's not more dinged up. I had to wipe a few fingerprints off it. Had some fun with that album back in my day. So this remastered version, I would say, takes the cake. It's not head and shoulders above the original, but definitely a nicer listen. Still warm and all that. You know, not a compressed thing. It's not maybe a little bit louder than the original CD, but it doesn't have any of that sort of harsh new production some of these things can have. CD too, guys, a whole CD full of outtakes, rehearsals and jams, all previously unreleased. So there's your single fold. Let's fold to, it's really nice. It folds to a booklet on this side. Not a deep read or anything, but you know, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 pages. Lots of cool pictures in it. The full spread of the CD here. Nice band jam shot. CDs get tucked in the pages here. And cool product, man, for sure. Now let's just talk about the material a little bit. You gotta love that picture. You got Lamar Williams. They started these sessions with Barry Oakley on bass. Dwayne, of course, gone prior. Barry Oakley actually passed away after recording a couple of these songs. So he's actually on part of this album. I can't tell you which 2 songs I think he's on, but he's on 2 or 3. So then you have Lamar Williams come in to finish it off. Disc 2, the rehearsals, jams, and outtakes. Most of these are instrumental, which, you know, it doesn't really say that on here. And, you know, you even got one song listed as instrumental outtake, you know, which makes you think there's vocals on everything else. There's vocals only on a few of these songs. Wasted Words has vocals, and a few more of them do, but I think in some cases not even as many vocals as there would be on the final product. So it's more like jams. But let me tell you, it's really, you know, the first time I listened to this CD, I was kind of disappointed by that. Second time I listened to it, and I listened to this again last week. Really kind of, the jams are great, you know. You don't have, like I said, the dynamics of Dwayne going off on guitar. Dickie has a smoother style, and that's what you get here. And some of these songs are really long. It's just good, solid performances on these jams. You know, they're not like screwing around. These are like in some cases, yeah, a lot longer than other versions you've heard, but everything's just, the playing here is just so solid. Kind of starting to get a little into the jazzy side of things, but not a whole lot yet. Just really good jamming, you know, but not your sort of wild rock, you know. So not quite what I expected, but I still kind of really like it, although at first I didn't. Growing on me for sure. Now, discs 3 and 4, Winterland, September 26, 1973. Now, just for some contrast, very popular concert out there by the Allmans from Cow Palace. I'm not sure this has been officially released. I picked this up on bootleg, guys, like 20 years ago. It's 4 CDs, New Year's Eve of 73. Now, there are some long jams on here, and the band is really starting to get jazzy at this point. All right, but what makes this cool, what makes the Super Deluxe Edition version here of Brothers and Sisters cool is you got this 2 CD concert from Winterland where it's September, you know, about 11 weeks earlier. So they're not, you know, into that total jazz on stage like they were starting to get to by New Year's Eve. So I like that it's still a little more rocking at this point. So I like having both concerts, is what I'm saying. This one's cool. We got a Bill Graham intro. Nice focus on, but not solely on Brothers and Sisters albums. But we do got Wasted Words, Ramblin' Man, Come and Go Blues. So these songs are spaced out too, you know. So Jessica, Southbound. So most of the Brothers and Sisters albums on the concert. Lots of classics. Some great stuff, man. Awesome. Highly recommend this one, guys, for sure. How do you not? Deep Purple, complete albums. I don't know how you guys feel about these collections. I love them. Some of them have bonus tracks, like my Chicago back there, Saxon. I mean, bonus tracks are almost a reason to just get them alone, honestly. This one, in this case, no bonus tracks, but I only had 3 of these albums when I bought this. I got this, I don't know, 5 years ago. I got it for $20 used on eBay. Deal of a lifetime, like new. I think the seller said he just bought it, burned it in iTunes, and was selling it. So I got it for, you know, I think it was going for $40 at the time. Now I think it's right now it's out of print. When these things go out of print, the price doubles and triples. Then they come back into print and they're $30 or $40. So nice way to get all your albums. Of course, you just get the clamshell deal and the single cardboard sleeve kind of thing. There's no cellophane sleeves inside as far as I remember, just the discs. And, you know, as far as the sound, you'll read mixed reviews on the sound of these guys. What I had when I got this was Made in Japan on a single CD, Fireball, single CD, and In Rock. My In Rock and Made in Japan were from the 80s. Fireball I picked up early 2000s, which I think was a later issue of that one. I compared the sound of Fireball with the Fireball I had from, I think, the late 90s was the mix on that one. Also compared In Rock to my 80s In Rock and Made in Japan to my... So before I actually got rid of those standalone CDs, which I kind of regret because I like keeping everything. But sound-wise, these sounded better than my CDs that I bought as standalones. My 80s In Rock, 80s Made in Japan, my late 90s Fireball. All 3 of these CDs sounded better than those. So I sold those off, you know, traded them in, whatever. More than that, the sound on this is better. What's the reason to hang on to them? Although, maybe a little nostalgia. In Rock was one of the first CDs I ever bought back in the 80s. So I wish I would have kept that one anyway. But I'm more than happy with the sound quality on these. I mean, getting 10 albums for $20 is crazy. And they sound, I'm really happy with the sound on these. I don't know which version of the album, as far as remastering or whatever, these are, you know, so tough to tell, tough to get details on these kind of things. I'm sure there are audiophiles out there and forums you can find out. Bottom line, super happy with this purchase. My favorite 3 albums, if I had to pick 3 by Purple, Machine Head, you have to just go with that. It's just so good. Other than that, I'd have to go with like probably Burn or Come Taste the Band. Those are my 3 favorite Purple albums. Guys, I was never blown away by it. I thought I was going to buy In Rock and be, you know, blown the hell away. It's a really good album, but there's just a couple songs on there that I don't care for a whole heck of a lot, honestly. I would rather listen to Burn. I'd rather listen to Come Taste the Band. Those and Machine Head are my favorite. In Rock, probably my 4th. All right, I'll admit that much. But there you go. Deep Purple, complete albums collection. Just my opinion on its sound quality. More than good. All right, time for a little fun here. Let's make our own version of Van Halen's Van Halen II Super Deluxe Edition. You know what? Man, all I need is a box and plop all these CDs in it. Make up our own booklet or swag. Here's what we're doing. First of all, I'm a fan of vinyl. I'm a fan of video. So we're going to collect everything we can get together. Let's remaster this bad boy and put it on vinyl. The original's back there. Let's remaster the CD. And we don't put bonus tracks on our CDs. They're standalone remastered CDs. Same with the vinyl. All right, so there's discs 1 and 2, Van Halen 2. Disc 3, guys, I just picked this up recently. Disc 3 is going to be our 1979 tour rehearsals. Interesting one. You got the band running through what would be, for the most part, the set list for the show. You know, a little bit of sort of in-between song banter, stopping to have a cheeseburger kind of thing. Just really cool stuff. It's a whole CD. I think it runs about an hour. There you go. Tour rehearsals, 1979. And that's what it is. It's just one long tour rehearsal. Basically running through the set list with a little bit of... there's some bonus tracks on the end of this guy, actually. But cool. There's the disc. All right, disc 3. Disc 4 would be Live in Fresno. Man, I can't find it. Somewhere I have an actual Maxell cassette. A friend of mine, yeah, I still have it. I commandeered this, but not on purpose. But I ended up with his tape. He taped this off the radio, and he dated it, March 25th, 1979. It was broadcast live. This concert was broadcast live, simulcast. He taped it off one of the stations in the Philly area. Fresno, California, the first night of the tour. So that'll be disc 1. It can be had on the bootleg market too. There you go. Disc 4 of our box set, first night of the tour, March 25th, 1979, Fresno, California. All right. Discs 5 and 6, West Palm Beach, 1979, July 6th. Soundboard recordings. By the way, all these soundboard recordings, obviously. We got another 2 CDs. Slight change in the set list for this too. So it's a little bit different than... Now, each of these discs we're going to look at as far as concerts, a little different from each other. So that's kind of cool. So there's discs 5 and 6, West Palm Beach, Florida, July 6th. And now finally we're in Japan, September 11th of 79, Osaka. Second night. This can also be had on the gray market too. But there you go. Soundboard recording. Again, Van Halen 2 tour. So 3 complete Van Halen 2 shows. Tour rehearsals. Remastered CD. Remastered vinyl. And you can't forget the demos. Outtake CD. Really just demos. But we are going to have that. That'll be disc 9. From Gene Simmons' demo, we have Somebody Get Me a Doctor from 1976. We also have, from 1977, Warner Brothers demos, we have Light in the Sky, DOA, Bring on the Girls, and Somebody Get Me a Doctor. Extracted from video now, Rochester, New York. We're going to extract 3 songs from that video that's out there. Dance the Night Away, You're No Good, and Bottoms Up. Try to clean that sound up. And finally, from this one goes back to 1976, May 9th to be precise, from Norwalk, California. Somebody Get Me a Doctor. there we go. We get 9 songs on our demos live CD. That's disc 9. And finally, we'll wrap it up with a Blu-ray. It's only going to be 42 minutes, but our Blu-ray, it's got to have that Rochester, New York performance from May 18th of 79. Dance the Night Away, You're No Good, and Bottoms Up, which, by the way, also ended up being on Don Kirshner's rock concert, which I have. Whoop, before this falls apart. I don't like these digipack bootleg CDs, or DVDs rather, but it's part of this guy. Kind of cool. That was the back. Here's the front of this. Way of Wizards DVD. Whole mess of early VH performances. You know, from the beginning up to 84 era. This is kind of cool. Nice mix of stuff here. All short performances. 3 songs or less on each of them, but a total of 24 songs. Nice. Anyway, back to our Blu-ray from Van Halen 2 box set. The Don Kirshner rock concert, 3 songs, Rochester, New York. And then on to, this just came out a few years ago as far as I know, Fresno from that opening night, March 25th, 79. It's about a half-hour video. Some of these songs near complete or complete, others just chopped up a little bit, but nevertheless a half-hour of VH from Van Halen 2 tour. Light Up the Sky, Running with the Devil. They're mostly complete as far as I remember. A little bit of On Fire, a little bit of a drum solo, some of Feel Your Love Tonight, Ain't Talking About Love, some Eddie on guitar, You Really Got Me, and Bottoms Up. So there you go, between the Kirshner's material and the Fresno, you got about a 42-minute Blu-ray from the Van Halen 2 era. There's our Van Halen 2 Super Deluxe Edition. Imaginary, yes, but hey man, we're here to dream. Guys, that's going to do it. If you can like and subscribe, every month we go over all the new releases coming up for the next couple months, just like we did today. A little bit of a focus on some Super Deluxe editions, and I think you get the gist of the channel. If you can like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. Guys, have a good rest of your day. Cheers. Catch us next time.